So I just made a very big Facebook live. So it's about my mother. I got into my office today and I could smell my grandmother who passed away. My foundation was in mediumship. It was my base foundation. I trained in lots of different places. Anyway, so I could smell her so fucking distinctly, and I haven't smelled that for a while. So immediately I kind of set up for the day, did what I needed to do, went to the cafe nearby that I always go to, and rang my mother. My mother then proceeded to tell me that she wasn't going to tell me, but she's been diagnosed with lung cancer. So we then had a conversation. I said to her, "Listen, first of all, I'm going to blow my own trumpet here." I said, I work with people all over the fucking world. I understand why people are experiencing what they're experiencing. There's suppressed emotion that is there within the physical system that sometimes the medical industry doesn't understand. It's starting to get there. So my grandmother also passed away with lung cancer because she had unresolved grief about the fact that my grandfather had died. My mother is still grieving the death of her parents. There's some other things that are there, which I won't go into too much because that's her business. So I gave her a list of things that she needed to fucking do. And also was, what's the word? Sent her a lot of healing. I did a lot of energy work on her when I got back to the office. I also said to her, she's got stuff to do. She's got my daughter to meet. She has, she's got another 20, 30 years. She's young. So I told her the things that she needed to hear. I gave her a kick up the backside because that's the way we are. That's the way my family are. I'm very direct with her. I've always been that way. That's why people come to see me, because I'll tell you what you need to do. Anyway, so then I had to process my human emotion as well, because I am also human. So that triggered some things in me that I needed to let go of and shift, because it's me mother. Yeah, I'm an advocate of do not spiritually bypass, feel your feelings, because I ain't getting sick for nobody else because I haven't processed emotions. So you got to feel them. I also think that it's very intelligent and clever how, once again, my mother wasn't going to say anything. And then this very deep experience of my grandmother came in to help open the conversation for me and my mother to have that conversation so that I could tell her what needed to happen, so that other things can happen. It's all interconnected in such an incredible, wonderful way. I do believe that she will be okay. And if I get it wrong, then oof, bad psychic. Sometimes, however, we're in our human experience. So, we need to be within it too. I maintain that so much. Nobody sits above anybody else in the fact that we're human. You cannot transcend pain. There will always be some form of pain. You can't use spirituality to bypass I'm going to ascend and never have an issue again because somebody's going to die. If the nature of loving someone or something, a pet or whatever, is you love them, you feel things deeply, and then, and that brings pain. That's okay. That's life. So I had to move a lot of emotion. But once again, it takes me to the fact of divine perfection, intelligent design. Things are working how they need to. There's lots of areas of my life. I really have to. Yes, I think that there is divine perfection. I would say that, nobody sits above, what's the word? I just think it's important to maintain one's humanness. And for people that are perceiving me or viewing me to understand that my life I'm also juggling things. There are bits and pieces of my life that are still finding their place and that are complicated. And I see those things because I am a psychic and I understand it. But I still have to feel it. Anybody who acts like, there's nothing going on in their life, that's a problem. That is alarm bells for me. That's red flags. That's not real. That's not real life. That's not reality. You ain't living in the real world. So I think that is it for the day. I'm going to make it a short one, short and sweet. So prayers for my mother, please, would be wonderful. Like I said, I think that she will be okay, but every little helps. I did say to her, on the joke of, but also no, if she passes away before all of the other things, I don't want to talk to her in the spirit world. I'm gonna if she don't come to me, I said, and don't come through nobody else because it's gonna take me a good 8 to 10 years maybe of that process to let go of my grief. I'll be pissed off. She's got things to do. She's got things to see. So I told her what she needed to do. She's got to do it, and then it'll all sort itself out. God willing, Mother Mary, thank you very much. Blessings. So that is that. Um, like I said, life is messy. Life is complicated. We are all in it. Deal with your emotions. Deal with your feelings. Okay. If you want to work with me, carltreslove.com. If you want to give these videos, you can. PayPal at carltreslove. Like I will always say, remember that all is good, all is God, all is love. Till we connect again soon in a bit.